Before we begin, what you are about to hear is an open conversation about real life. This is not therapy, and nothing shared here should be taken as clinical advice or treatment. We are men talking honestly about our experiences. If you are struggling or in crisis, please reach out to a licensed professional in your area. This is Running Cold. Welcome to Running Cold. I'm your host, Jerry Bailey Jr. Most black men were never given the chance to warm up emotionally. No preparation, no tools, no one to show you how. You just go and figure it out while you're on the move. This podcast is what happens when black men finally pull over. Real conversations, no scripts, no performance, just men thawing out together. Let's get into it.
All right, fellas. Good evening. Good morning.
Running
Good
Cold-
morning.
Running
Good
Cold
morning.
Podcast here. I am Rouzan. We got our other two brothers. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, Jerry Bailey Jr. here.
Jerry Smith here.
Yeah. So you know how we started off, fellas. Just what we celebrating? Anybody got anything good happening? Anything good going?
Celebrating my granddaughter's birthday today.
True indeed. True indeed.
I'm celebrating the three of us being together today.
Right. I'm celebrating this space. I'm celebrating fellowship. Man, even our trip, our run-in yesterday, meeting Derek and going to Culture Shop.
Oh yeah.
Man, it was well needed, much needed.
Yeah. Definitely gotta get Derek on this one time too, because Derek has a lot of valuable information. He has a culture shop that's beyond. I mean, he got some of the same artifacts you got in here, and he has it like a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an actual shop, but everything in there got a good positive aura, positive vibration. And I think that's what we need more of here and there, you know. I think we should get into the first question.
We ought to get into Behind the Armor, because we did it last week. Mr. Jerry hasn't got to do it yet. So let's run down Behind the Armor for Mr. Jerry. So we got 5 questions.
Okay.
And every episode, the guests answer the same questions. They never change. And we see what your answers are. For the first question, what does it mean to be a man?
Warrior. Being able to stand up and realize that if we don't stand up, we all gonna fall down.
Well, question 2, what invisible weight do you carry that nobody acknowledges?
Racism.
Man.
But the fact that we do not acknowledge racism. We too busy partying and bullshucking and partying.
Right.
That it just blows right over our head. And these folks got these okay, I'm sorry, one question.
We could come back to this is how we got started last time. These questions started it off. What is the world's greatest misunderstanding of a black man?
There wouldn't be a world without us.
Facts. One thing that reminds you of your father.
Alcoholism.
Man.
Drugs. The drug is the alcohol. Yeah. And the fact that we're still indulgent.
Question 5. How did you learn to be a father?
Trial and error.
Same. That's what we answered last week too. All right, folks. That is Behind the Armor. Every episode, every guest, same questions, never the same answers. But this is where it's at right here, the open segment. Let's keep it going. Anybody got anything they want to start off with, or anything we want to start with?
Real small. I want to keep it as small as possible. One thing I was looking into was insurance and healthcare for us as black people and in this country. A lot of things we're not always kept up to date, even with law. Sometimes when they have a new law that's being passed, you get pulled over and say, oh, that's a law, you can't do that. You know, even with insurances, I think that that's something that needs to keep being updated in our black community and our black culture, because we're inside this country here, and we have to run off of things that have been led by certain people in certain ways, because we have to be conform to some of these things and these challenges here. I think that it's very important that we learn the update on things, especially about a long-term care for health insurance. You know, because when you paying all this insurance for something else, thinking that this is what you need to be paying for, when you really need to be having this or having it with it.
It's like having homeowners insurance, but don't cover fire and flood.
That part. That part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Various things that need to be navigated from, I would say, given to our youth in the earliest of their 20s, however they are. You know, they need to learn that these are different things that's going on for the time being, and then once this expires, they're going to come up with a new edition of something else. And this is something that we need to be up on all the time. And just like I was saying about the racism part, that's not acknowledged. Some of this is kind of connected with racism in a sense. I mean, that's argumentative, but you know, we're not privy to a lot of good information that's beneficial for our physical being, our health. You know.
I'm thinking in terms of that's right on spot. We do need that, yet we $1 trillion industry here. We got the money. So the problem that I'm seeing and hearing is that we take this money and give these other folk. And when we give these other folk, then they get the money, then they change the rules. So now we got to give them more money. Yeah. Oops, that don't apply now. You're not covered. So I'm thinking in terms of what did we used to do? Okay, in the old days, and we have enough skills and talented people. We got nurses, we got doctors, we got certified nursing assistants, we got all these folk. What would happen if we were to pool our resources, take that insurance money that we give them other folk and put it in a pot, and we create these facilities for us folk?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can take care of us folk. The problem is we rely on them folk to take care of us. And they do take care of us right on into the grave. After they bleed us dry, we have nothing left, time to die.
True.
So, it's you're spot on there, Brother Rouzan, but we need to take it to another level. We need to bring it home. And at 74, this is where my focus is. Let's come back home. You got the Igbo, you got all these brothers and sisters there. We still rely on them other folk to take care of us. And why would they do that?
And to give us the narrative.
And to give us the narrative.
You know? And to give us the narrative, because that's like I said, me being like you said, I'm in a split because I'm born in America, raised in American culture, but at the same time, I am Nigerian. And because of my father being too young, I didn't get a chance to get a whole lot of my Nigerian efforts, until later on. But now that I went, like you said, get back to the old, my goodness, the culture as far as everybody community there, it's unparalleled. I mean, they really, in the country itself, they don't have to contend nowadays with as much colonization or, the other folk. I'm going to say it like that. You know what I mean? They don't really have to contend with those things. So they're able to create a narrative of what's going on. And like you said, all of these elements need to be put inside of a big pot for a good play, because it's all about taking care of humans more so than the color or race. And it starts within our own community. And in this American black culture community, it's definitely, it's swayed so bad to where no one's thinking about that at all. They're thinking, like you said, about partying, hating another person, black person, fighting and hostility, and everybody's against one another, competition some kind of way. I'm better than you. I got this more money, this accolades, and that. And no one wants to share. No one wants to share the information.
Well, let me catch that, brother, and toss it back at you. When we said no one wants to share, that's not a true statement. Because here we are. We're sharing. And see, we're not looking for the whole world. It starts right where we are. Okay, everything starts with somebody. And we as Nana John Henry Clark says, back in the day, we didn't have nursing homes. We didn't have
Stay with your
child
daughter, your
care.
kids, and
Okay. We didn't have juvenile facilities. Okay. Back all up into the 70s, we didn't have mass incarceration. Okay. All this stuff was created as a result of the 70s. How we started coming together, how we started standing up, shaking these folk off. Well, let's get them, let's do what we can. So again, piggybacking on what you're saying about the taking care of folks, long-term health care. Let long-term health care be that we recruit folks. The three of us, we can go out and we can find folks. I got CNAs in the family. I got doctors in the family. You know, we got nurses in the family. So the money that we're going to put into these insurance companies, why not put it into a mutual fund, generate income so we can pay these folk to come work with our folk? Bring them back home.
Exactly. Instead of them pulling us to that narrative.
Mm-hmm. And again, back in the 90s, the first book I wrote, it's time to stop blaming the white man.
Can I clap?
You know, these folk got an agenda.
Right.
And they're running their agenda.
And you see it.
And we're trying to force ourselves into their agenda. And as Malcolm X said, we run around there, want to sit in the toilet next to these folk. I don't know if you folks remember back in the 80s, they had this here restaurant across the bridge there over in North Augusta called the Buffalo Room. And I'm of the mindset that this individual, white-owned, he decided he didn't have a retirement plan. So he sat there at the table and figured out what's the best way to come up with a mass chunk of money legally. Well, I got it. We don't serve blacks. And he put that out there. And Jesse and Al and all over the country, them folks lined up on highway number 1 to get into the Buffalo Room. He gonna serve us.
right.
Y'all remember that?
I don't.
Okay. He gonna serve us.
Yeah.
And so that's our mindset. We force ourselves into their narrative. And that's our detriment. Yeah, we want you to assimilate. Come on. Come on in. Just like the insurance policy. Come on. You need this long-term insurance care. Long-term. You need it. You got to get it. Okay, we got it. You know, that don't cover the, as you said, don't cover the fire damage. Don't cover the roof. Okay. You know, when I was coming along, the big thing is you got to get that high school diploma. Well, we hung in there. Many of us hung and we sweat and put up with all that crap. And we got the high school diploma. Well, you know, you need at least a 2-year college degree. Some of us went and got that 2-year college degree. Well, you know, you need at least a 4-year degree. Some of us went and got that 4-year degree. Well, you know, you need at least to have a master's degree.
Right.
We went and got the master. You know, you're overqualified.
That part.
You know? So we don't understand. We're sitting there playing checkers, and these folks playing chess.
They play for extra.
Okay, they playing 3D chess, you know.
3D chess,
Okay, and we still pushing these checker pieces across the board, and trying to figure out how come. You know, there is no race of people in this country beneath us. None. Nobody is beneath us. That hurts. And that's by choice. That's by choice. Because we put these wrong people in office just because they're black. Now, I just recently saw that over a dozen black folk, black politicians of them Congressional Black Caucus, we're going to support Israel. And as veterans, we know that the government has agreed that we're going to allow Israel to infiltrate our military. Okay? Mm-hmm.
So now I can't learn Igbo fast enough so I can get to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My ancestors, my grandmother, she came from there. I lost, because they have, I've learned that too when I've been recently doing a lot of stuff and research and stuff. They have my white French side really documented very well, all the way down to the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
But Nigerian side, my grandmother Isabella, they don't say much about her. It's just Nigeria, blah, blah, that's it. But back then, they didn't have computers. They just wrote it. It was handmade. And you see the print, you see the 1800s. Great grandmother, his granddaddy was a white fella from France. Um, he was telling me about a lot of stuff that they kind of went through, but because Louisiana was not a part of America, because we talking about before the Civil War and after, and Louisiana Purchase, you know what I'm saying? Before it became a state, you know, because America was 1776. My granddaddy born in 1769. He came here in the early 1800s and stuff like that. Made himself establish. Him, Napoleon. Napoleon never got here, but him and a lot of because they were friends with him. Napoleon was they kind of owned Louis.
France owned it.
Yeah, France. You know, and they sold it for like 15 million or something like that.
The Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah,
And they sold it because of us.
right. Because down there,
They sold it because the brothers and sisters over there in that country called Haiti
yeah,
was whooping the shucks out of Napoleon and French. And Napoleon sent 50,000 troops over there to re-enslave them.
to something liberatory
Okay.
in Haiti.
And he took back about 8,000. He took about 8,000 back. And so they depleted the rest the income, so they had to get some money. So that's why they sold Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that just the state of Louisiana, it goes all the way up into the Dakotas.
That's true.
Okay, half the America was doubled in size with the Louisiana Purchase.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't get any of that land.
Yeah.
And so, again, it comes back to the other thing. We don't know our history.
Disconnection.
You know, we choose not to know it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's a choice not to know it. I can tell you Beyonce, or not I can, but we can tell Beyonce's latest song.
Yeah.
We can tell whatever score such a team got in Super Bowl 3 years ago. Yet we don't know our history. And our history does not begin with slavery. It does not begin. It goes back to the great countries of Igbo and what have you.
Yeah.
You know, them folks was doing it. So it comes back down to we have to pool our resources. The one to see, I grew up, for me, it was the best of times. Because I grew up in the 60s. And we was on the move in the 60s. You know, we was whooping behind in the 60s. Okay. You know, okay. You know, and I contend that two things destroyed our movement of the 60s. Only two things. One was Soul Train, and the other one was the Jerry Curl. You know, because during the 60s, you know, we spend, you know, I got a picture of me, that picture up there, I'm in the Navy up there on that white picture. That's my fro in the Navy. Okay. And so we spend 20, 30 minutes every day getting our hair together. So we stand in the mirror looking at what? 20, 30 minutes worth of beauty.
Flat.
Okay. And then they come up with the Jerry Curl, and we got squirting that juice in the head and shaking it off, and then we out there, and then we get out on Soul Train, do your thing.
Yeah.
Looking out for number one. It's your thing.
Yeah, yes,
You know? So it changed the whole mindset.
Shrunk a lot of things down for as far as community culture, and that's what some of that they added. That's not just by itself, along with a few other things, added to the disconnect. Just like I was saying about my ancestry, I'm just reconnecting to Nigeria. It was crazy in my 50s, just reconnecting back to Nigeria, and this has been a part of my culture from birth. It's not like I can't. It's documented. I can't change that. I just never had a chance to learn anything about my grandmother's culture at all. I just had to sit here and do like I said, as a young person, and I was speaking about young people. It's time for you to chime in here. Young people, this dynamic, they really sometimes don't have to contend with. Some of them don't even think about it, you know. And like I said, as long as it's not really ailing me right this minute, you don't know what's secretly being created to ail you later. And that's the biggest thing about looking at patterns. So that, like I was telling, since a kid, I have like kaleidoscope vision. Go to sleep at night, I dream in patterns. So I watch patterns like patterns on your clothes, patterns on the carpet, patterns on walls. I look at things in patterns, so you can kind of, just like looking at a maze, you can see where that pattern is going to lead you. And if you're a forward thinker, you say, okay, I'm going to strike that pattern from my list of travel. You know, I don't want to travel down that pattern because I saw what it did since the 60s. That same pattern keeps going on, just changing. And it's a constant distraction from being able to focus. And I look at the words distraction real heavily, far as definitions and stuff. But distraction, you get good distraction, you got bad distractions. Some things, the good distractions distract you from doing things that are considered bad, not the most favorable. And you got bad distractions that distract you from doing good or positive. What are you more leaning toward as a black person in this? I know we said black men and black women, but black person in this country, in this culture. That narrative is so heavy, and I mean, we're sitting talking about it now. You got some people that are activists, but a lot of times people don't pay attention to them. They're putting on a small platform, a pedestal, and we still glorify and make the unimportant important. Things that we need to be putting on the shelf and putting this as first, we doing it wrong. If it's important for us to be thinking about, conversating about our heritage insurance, we want to talk about when the next party going to be, what you wearing, what you drinking, or what you smoking, how you getting down. We're not talking about how we can build on what the things that you were speaking about earlier. We need to be saying, what you say about it, JB?
I mean, the insurance stuff, man, I sold insurance. Okay, I was an agent with Primerica. Man, trying to get people my age to talk about and buy insurance. The people who I was bringing in were people your age. It was the older folk that knew that, you know, like one guy said he had just buried one of his parents and had to pay it all out of pocket because they didn't have any kind of insurance or any kind of help, you know, that kind of stuff. And he asking questions about like, okay, well, this only lasts till I'm 65, so what happens to all the money I put in until then? And then, you know, giving them plans where, you know, that money gets rolled over into IRA or IEL or IUL or, you know, an index, like something like, it's a lot to it. And if you're not, again, most of us are not financial literate folk. The ones that are the ones that studied something out of school, you know what I'm saying? Out of high school, I say. Because in high school, they don't teach you anything about financial literacy. We don't you learn how to count money. But that's it. They don't teach you, you know, APR and interest on your, like, they teach you how to figure out the percentage of what's, like you were saying, like you teach your grandkids, you know, 9% of 20 is what. They teach you that, the math, but they don't teach you the correlation of how that goes with your mortgage or your car note that you got with the bank or. So like like you said, if it ain't affecting them right now, well, I can't say them, if it ain't affecting us, my age of people right now I'm in that age where that's the kind of stuff we looking into and we're researching. 36. Yeah, you kind of trying to get it together and stuff. But when I was in my 20s and man, that was the last thing I was worried about. And if you think about it, that's when you should really be worried about it, because if you go ahead and get it set up when you in your 20s and you're healthy and you don't got all those issues, you pay a lot less. It goes a lot more, you know, it's less like now I go try to get an insurance policy now, I got to go do a physical and everything. If your height,
super high premium.
Right, because my body, my BMI is high, you know, like it is. But if I had went maybe and did this in my when I was 21, 22 and got that rate locked in, where you probably wouldn't even have to do the physical. They'd looked at you, oh, good standing, yeah. Here it is, $1 million policy for $13 a month. You know, like stuff like now, They want $240 for $250,000, and it's like you want $250 a month, and it just
So again, when was the best time to buy insurance? 40, 50 years ago. When's the second best time?
Going back on what he said though, and using what you said just now, and what he said.
After you're 65,
Yeah.
or when you're 65, when's the second best time?
Folks up inside there. First, we need to come up with a plan before we do. Come up with a solid plan, and we may have to disrupt. I mean, hey, been like that said, we got to disrupt what's going on. I'm not trying to say, everybody come on, no violence, no, not being diplomatic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to come up with something with a plan. Put it in there that's for the good of all mankind. And I know they're not looking at mankind; they're looking at a certain they kind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying for mankind because we all need these assistants. We all need doctors. We all need medical coverage, you know. And me watching them just send elderly people home to die, it's crazy to me because it's supposed to be a rich country. There is no more community looking out for one and no social support at all.
Did you brothers know that the Black Panthers created first Feed a Kid program? Had breakfast
Every morning.
every morning, had hot meal. Did you know that the Black Panthers created health clinics?
What's
Health clinics, dental clinics,
Legal clinics.
disability. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
right.
They gave us the blueprint. It's already there. And as far as the insurance, I'll take a different approach. Rather than take that money, put it into an insurance policy, betting that I'm going to get sick or going to die sometime soon, and they're betting that I'm not. That's why they take my money. Going back to what you said, if you're healthy, they're going to get it. If you're not healthy, they don't want you.
Right.
Okay. So rather than giving that money to these insurance companies, what would happen if we were to take that money and pool that money and buy real estate? And every month you're making that, you put tenants in that property. This house here, I've owned this house for 15 years. Tenants paid the mortgage for the first 7 years.
Right.
Okay. All right. So so what would happen if we were to buy property with that insurance money, and then when we needed extra money, take out a second mortgage on that property?
And that's one way too. Another thing to go with that, and with insurance, is I've seen insurance company, you pay insurance all these years,
Mm-hmm.
and then something go wrong, they get pissed off and they drop you. They'll find some type of loophole to drop you so they can keep all the money that you've put in, keep fattening their calf. And then you like, well, what happened? I paid my insurance on time. Well, sir, looks like you.
It's the payment.
Yeah, and now you got to go try to find some other insurance. Somebody else will scam you down for some more money. That they can just drop you as a client if they want. We don't like how 1 year bricks is painted purple.
Mm-hmm.
That's a health. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to cut you. And you're like, but where's my rest of my money? I just gave you. I was paying $500, $1,000 a month, or whoever have it. A year, however it go. I was paying all this here. That don't mean for nothing. Nah.
Well, it's not designed. It's not designed to cover you. That's not the design.
Right.
It's designed to get your money. Okay. Actually it's a pyramid scheme. Money goes up, but they don't want to put it back down. Okay. And if you need it, you don't quite. You know, I remember the insurance man used to come through the hood every week and collect $5-6 from them folk. Burial plan. Can you imagine how much money that our folks pumped into that? $5-6 a week. Mm-hmm. And when I came down here over in Hyde Park there, you know, I was over with my aunt one day, and he came in, he knew exactly where the book was. White man just walked on in. Minnie, how you doing today? You know, picked up the book, took the money, signed it, put the book back and left. $5.
Park. Y'all heard the story about Hyde Park?
Not sure about that.
You know,
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I just found out that.
Talking about.
I'm not from around
this
here.
Hyde
so I
Park
just-
over here, off of Gordon Highway.
You know they got one in L.A. too. Right?
Oh yeah.
You know they got
Mhm.
Los Angeles Hyde Park, and got I think Detroit too. They got Highland Park in
Mhm.
Detroit.
I just heard about that. Yeah, it was I
It's
think
right
Jesse
over there.
Norman put it together. The one I heard, it was kind of like a interview, like a short story or a documentary, audio documentary.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I heard my son goes to Jesse Norman, and he told me about it, and we used to listen to it on the way to and from school.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's crazy how they do us. It's
Well,
crazy.
Again,
Crazy
I don't see it. I don't see it as being crazy.
how we allow.
You know, because that's the agenda.
Yeah, that's
You know, it's working very well for them. It's crazy how we embrace it. It's crazy how we go along with it. You know, Hyde Park over right off of Gordon Highway. Many family members lived over there. Many family members lived over there. And it was identified as environmental racism because IT&T had that plant that over there that make these telephone poles. And they're soaking them in creosote. And that was entering into the water level. And many illnesses came out of that. And so I went to the hearings, and you know, there's folks over there, and when they finally decide they're going to shut Hyde Park down, that the folks said, well, we're going to make you whole. If you're living in the house and you got a $10,000 mortgage, we're going to move you into another house with a $10,000 mortgage. Doesn't matter what the price, you know, there's a ceiling as to how much they're going to let you pay, but you still only going to have a $10,000 mortgage. If you got no mortgage, you're going to move in the house with no mortgage. And you know, I'm at this meeting listening to these folks. Well, I just got my kitchen redoed, and I don't want to move, and I was born, and you got all these illnesses, and your face is all messed up from these chemicals, but you don't want to move. Well, what did Nana Harriet Tubman say? You freed close to 1,000 folks? I could have freed more if they knew they were slaves. So, you know, the money we have and the skill sets we have, the biggest problem as I see it, we're trying to reinvent the wheel.
But how can you pull all of this stuff together and do all of these things when majority of the people don't know they slaves?
We don't go for the majority. We go for the minority. We don't go for the majority. Go for, you know, some folks we're going to have to leave alone.
It's almost like going for the underdog.
Okay.
Everybody didn't count and believe that the underdog can make it. You got to go for the minority.
You know, some folks we just got to leave them where they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say the three of us, let's say we decide every month we're going to put $500, whatever we can do, into this pot. And then at the end of the year, let's go buy something. Property. We're the most conferencing people in this country. Every one of our organizations have 5, 6 different conferences a year.
Yeah.
Okay, the sorority, what they call the Divine Nine, they got it all in this community. Every one of them going to have their own conference. Then they're going to have the state conference. Then they're going to have the national conference. Okay, all these churches, every one of these churches is going to have a conference. And we're going and renting these other folks' spaces.
Yeah.
What would happen if we were to build a hotel and put white folks up in front now? Because, you know, we ain't going to do business with us because white folks' ice is colder. So we go over and get Jerry there, put him up front, let him be the figurehead. There's a documentary out there. Did you see The Banker? The movie The Banker? It's on Netflix. It's a true story. These two brothers, just two.
You'd send the white guy into the bank to make all the deals and stuff because they wouldn't do it for the black man.
He knows already because we got a white.
We got a white Jerry. Okay.
Whenever I do put my business and flipping houses, I have white Jerry, and he understands. He knows He doesn't always understand.
Even with appraisals and
Well, no, even when I'm
they still redlining and all of that stuff is still relevant. All of that stuff is still, but yeah.
Me, I have a suit on. They'll walk past me and they'll shake White Jerry's hand before they shake mine. And I be looking at White Jerry like, man, I really want to get the hell out of here. I said, because I'm looking at the dude, but he tried, now he want to shake his hand. I'm like, because of the contract, it's why I'm still in front of you, man. Because you literally walk right around this table like this here, walk past me and White Jerry right here, and you shake his hand like y'all been friends best time. And you look at me, and White Jerry go like this here, and I'm like, I don't even look in your eyes, shake your hand, and I'll respect you because how you just treated me as a black person. And then you want to get a discount because I'm dark.
Which is why they came up with those different identities, octoroons and quadroons and what have you, so white folks could be more comfortable. At least they're not black. Okay, because again, they still got that. Right, exactly. Okay. Okay, they still got that one drop rule.
Yeah.
And white folks know the deal. That one drop rule gonna wipe them out every time. Okay, and so when you look at what we can do, look at what we can do. We don't need a whole army. We don't need all the, just one person, two people, three people. That's all we. Are you familiar with Leon Howard Sullivan? He was a preacher up there in Philadelphia in the 60s and 70s. He the founder of Opportunities Industrialization Center. Okay. His church, they pooled together money in Philadelphia and bought the first strip mall for black owned. But they stopped there at that strip mall. They didn't go any further. Okay, didn't go any further. All right, and then shows you how the government gets on in and take over. Well, it's suggested, Reverend Sullivan, you need to take this to Africa. So he went to Africa and started setting up OICs in Africa. Well, what happened over here? They just fizzled out. They fizzled out. I'm learning myself. Divide and conquer.
Yeah, one thing I'm learning myself now because of participating and dealing with, like, this weekend coming up. And the Nigerian Igbo culture is way different from the black culture here in America. The Igbos here in America, they still stuck on community. They still, something like you said, the wheel. It don't need. They already got. I'm not saying they're the best or this is the world. No. I'm just saying, even when I was looking at the community, how they raise the kids, there's certain things. That's why they're in certain words and a certain language. You don't. If you mean what you say, you do what you say. It's no, I might, it could possibly, no. It's either yes or no. And so it kind of blocks out any room for any type of hesitation against something that's going to make something be broken later. Because we're not even, this is not a part of the culture of the community whatsoever.
Well, I'm going to try. So that's a cop-out.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't tell you I was going to do it. I told you I was going to try. I was going to try. And something came up, so I couldn't do it.
Right.
Okay. As opposed to either you do or you don't do. Going back to what you were saying earlier, Brother Jerry, about how they didn't teach you economics in school. They didn't teach you even how to fill out a checkbook. Yeah. Okay. And so I was watching this YouTube, and this Jewish woman, she says, with your children, you got your grandchildren, you got your children, 4 and 5 years old, give them a salary for chores. Pay them $5 a week, okay? And of that $5 a week, make them save $2. Make them invest $1 to charity. And then they got, $2 to play with.
Right.
And every month you do the same thing. Every week you do the same thing. Because there's something that we don't know about. Compound interest.
Now, like you said, reason why, now you see why I'm teaching them percent. Now you see why I'm talking to them like I don't. Just what he just said. This is exactly what I'm actually doing that. I'm like, I know, like you say, pay him, I'm paying him. And I said, I need to know what's 20% of what you just got. That's what you're going to get paid. You don't get raised if you get the answer right. You get the answer wrong, I ain't got what you might. make a decision. They don't come with me to have questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the two older things.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to know about this. And I said about the savings. That's huge for me with them. If you, initially I started off, I said, if you save this $15 or $20 and in a month, I'll double it.
Mm-hmm.
Compound interest.
Compound it right.
Compound interest.
You see what I tell I tell everything he's saying. That's exactly what I'm doing right now because I want them to learn that you're not just going to get a freebie. First off, second off, you need to know how to look around the corners with what you do have and know how to make it count and make it work. Or if it needs to be extended, you know what I mean? Like we said, we was talking about this a little bit last week. Me and you talk to the young people about money management, financial management, and not just financial budgeting and management, time management, life management, period. Learning how to budget and balance yourself, just period. Once you got, that's like I said, a pattern. That's what's inside your energy, your frequency, you know what I mean? That's a pattern already going. If you started paralleling it with a lot of different things going on, well, this pattern worked here, let me try it out here. Oh, it works here. Well, that's a pretty good pattern. A rule of thumb to be using when going about things in life. If I use this same pattern here that I use the formula of, if you may, like I did right here, it's going to allow me enough space to where I can grow. And this is the one thing that, like you were saying about the new generation, you guys younger and all the young grandkids, it's all about growth. If you're not growing, and if you're not trying to grow, if you're not trying to water your mind, learn something different instead of always into this real, in a sense, pointless. I know it's an opinion, pointless conversations, especially if it's going to lead to negative rounds up or you're not even. This is what is us talking about getting drunk or blazed up, messed up or something gonna do for us, enhancing us later on. But majority of the time, this is the bulk of the conversation. We're talking like how you said. We're talking about that kind of thing. We're not talking about things that really matter. These things, we don't have to be overanalyzed like pounds.
Well, maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we want to stop giving folks passes. Okay.
Giving permission.
Yes.
Permission to be lazy.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you be lazy today because you're my friend.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You worked hard last week. And I used the analogy of the junkie. You got this individual got $300 a day habit. Woke up this morning, didn't have a penny to their name. No drugs, because they used it all yesterday. So between the time they wake up and the time they go to sleep, if they don't get killed and if they don't get locked up, they're going to come up with that $300 to satisfy that habit. Yeah. Every day they got to start all over again. And this is how we want to become. Every day we got to start all over again. We know what we need to do. For instance, we go to church every Sunday. That's the biggest ripoff in the world. Okay? Every Sunday we go to the church house. We put this money and give this money to the Lord. And then we come home and beg and plead that the Lord going to give us some money. But we've already given the money away that the Lord gave us.
He gonna hurt some feelings. He gonna hurt some feelings on this one, boy. I feel it kind of became an issue with me when it was an ATM machine in the lobby.
That part. That was 5 years ago.
They putting cash apps up on the screen.
Ooh, that too.
PayPal information.
My daddy was a barber. And as a youngster, I'm sitting in the barber shop, shining shoes, doing one, but I'm learning. I'm listening to my old men talking, because they dropped that knowledge out there. One guy, I'll never forget it, he says, the preacher came to the deacon and said, "Brother Deacon, I noticed that you're not paying your tithes regularly." And so the deacon said, "Well, no, that's not true, brother pastor. I pay my tithes." "Well, no, I got the books here. You're not paying your tithes." "Oh, well, it wouldn't be on the books, because when I get paid, I cash my check. I go home, I get on my knees, and I pray to God and thank God. And then I say, okay, Lord, I'm going to toss all this money up. And what you want, you keep. And if you don't want it, give it back to me. You know, there's not much distinction between a pimp and a pastor. And both of them are targeting our women. And we tolerate it. I tell my woman, hey, whatever you need to know, you learn from me. No, I don't want no other man up in your head. He's not going to get in my bed, so why about let him in your head? You know? And so we men need to rise up.
Yeah, I like for him the way we were talking about a few seconds ago. I want him to start back.
Yeah. And what we were talking about me spoiling my kids and how I say a lot of times, and like again, even when I was talking about that segment, I was like, I don't know if the other part came in before that, but basically what we were talking about was, I was like, us as parents trying to give our kids things and make up for the things that we didn't like as kids. And is it really beneficial for the kid, or is it just the simple fact that we didn't get to do it, or we didn't have it, or, and I was saying like me growing up, I ain't get no replacements. And sometimes, you know, sometimes stuff broke. Like sometimes something just fell on accident and accidentally broke, and it wasn't necessarily my fault. And I feel like I should have got some replacements. So now when my kids break something, the first thing I do is get online and order something, you know, order a replacement for it, because when I had stuff I liked that broke, that's what I wanted growing up. But like you said, is it really, from what you've seen and what you know, I'm setting them up? Like, that's not the way to go. So
I got the same mentality he has, but it took a little experience to get there. And of course, read.
And what mentality is that?
Like you said, if something happened that dampened their day, rather something broke them, something they didn't achieve, they didn't get what they wanted, didn't win. I had to wind up with, even with my son that started, just let him know that you're not always going to win. You're not, just because you lost, and this person may have out-dribbled you on the basketball court or whatever it may be. Even with gifts, like you said, breaking objects and stuff. You know, you're not going to always have, you're not going to always have it. It's not, you know, you got to look at things as a blessing and a privilege. Anything that you get, period, it's a privilege, because there are a lot of people that don't get it. So it all goes back to what I was saying last week about the word purpose. And I'm going to kind of keep sticking with that forever, even when I educate a lot of the kids, because you got to have a purpose for, as we were talking about being a man. You have a purpose, and the question is, if you don't know your purpose, it's not a bad idea, or it's a good time really for you to sit down and try to sit with yourself to figure out what your purpose is, so you can see the purpose that you keep certain things around in your life, certain bad habits. What's the purpose of you drawing on this cigar, or sipping on alcohol? Well, you got to have put a purpose, if you can, to a majority of things you can do, so you can kind of be calculated with your decisions. You know, that way you can kind of follow the pattern or path or the maze a little long down the way to see how this is detrimental, or is it something that's going to enhance you. You know, we're talking about, all of us talk, but we're talking about soul training today from the part. What's the purpose of that? There is really no end game of fulfillment with that. But you do have a purpose with the other things that we're talking about creating our own system of inclusion in healthcare, benefiting one another. You know, it's probably another way. It's a way to tweak the ring. You just got to kind of, like a Rubik's Cube, keep dancing with it so you get that solid answer. But you need to put a purpose to what you're doing, because if you're moving with no purpose, you're gonna fail severely.
One of the most ridiculous statements that people say is the children are our future.
Move with a purpose.
The children are our future. That's a bunch of happy horse manure. Because what does a child know about the future?
what you tell them.
We are the child's future. If we don't teach them, they won't know. And there's a huge difference between an older male and a man. Becoming an older male is mandatory Becoming a man is optional. You have to be taught what it's like to be a man. Okay.
That's the quote for the episode right there.
And so we have these children out here. I heard a story about this here great African king. He went to his wise folk and he said, I want you to come up with something that I can give to the people that's going to make them go forth and prosper. So they got together and they came up with a whole volume of books, encyclopedic, bunch of books. He said, no, that's too much. Folks not going to read that. Go back. So they came back with a few books. Folks, still too much. Folks not going to read that. Go back. So they came back with one book. Still not too much. They not going to read that. Came back with one sentence. He said, you got it now. There is no free ride.
Wait for that. Let me repeat it. There are no free rides. Again, there you go, brother. Go.
Spoiling our children is setting up to make them believe there's free rides. You break it? Oh, that's okay. Dad's going to replace it. I want it? That's okay. Dad's going to give it. Do you folks know who invented the skateboard?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. My generation.
80s.
My generation. You remember them metal roller skates? You ever been exposed to where you had the key and the clamp on your shoe? Y'all old enough to remember those? Okay. Now when they break, it comes in two pieces.
Yeah.
So when they break, we do what? We get a 2x4, cut it in half, nail each end to the 2x4, the skateboard. The skateboard. We did that. And so I say that to say we learned how to make do. So if it broke, we came up with another way of using it. We didn't have to have the replacement ability. We just have to come up with another way of using it. And so when we give children stuff, and you touched on it, you hit it right on the nail, you didn't have it. So now what are you trying to do? Relive your childhood vicariously through your children. And then the penitentiary is loaded. Because when you stop giving, they go on the custom to get. What you think they gonna do?
Take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or in some cases, I've watched some other kids. They'll wind up overdoing something. Like they couldn't. Some parent couldn't afford the name brand shoes in America like how they like to do, right? The kid, when he get a certain age and he's able to buy it himself, he throws all the money because he's trying to fulfill some lost thing that he didn't get back then. So he's buying 1,000 shoes, thousands of this, thousands of that, because that was something that he thought he was private.
Overcompensating.
Right, overcompensating. So again, I said, draws back to purpose. What's the purpose? That's what I asked the kids when I had some write reports. What was the purpose of this? Even my son, my daughter, when they was young, I'll have them write reports that says, what was the purpose of how this could have went another way? You've been better off. Have phrases, but what's the purpose? You need to have a purpose that you're upset. You need to have a purpose that you just can't just go like. I mean, you can, but you need to have a purpose for you being frustrated by something.
Well, let me catch that, Brother Rouzan, and toss it back at you. They always have a purpose. Is it positive or is it negative?
That he really took it to the next level, right? That's right.
There's always a purpose.
There's always a purpose.
I want it is a purpose.
Right.
Self-gain.
What you said made me think of like my dad. I used to hate asking him for money growing up. I can go to my mom, can I have $100? If she got it, she gonna say yeah and give it to me. Dad, can I have $100? What you need $100 for? And you gotta get it better equal up. Well, this costs this much, and I'm gonna use that with this, and this costs this. It better equal up to 100. You gotta have to get close, and then don't say 100, and then it be 100 even. Oh, so you just ain't gonna pay no tax?
Mm-hmm.
Cause now you need more than 100. So now you can't get the 100 you asked for because you can't even get everything you need with that 100. And now I feel like now I see like you said that's what that reminded me of.
I told my nephews a lot of people too, and like how you said, what's the purpose? You know, because if you need 100 to get something to eat, shit, I got a refrigerator full of groceries. So you really don't need no money. You need this food. Now, like you said about the negative, some people may have a hidden agenda. Some people have 3, 4, 5 hidden agendas. But if they got a hidden agenda, it's a change from purpose to an agenda. You know, even though they're the same words, but we talk about the English language. I'm learning Igbo too, so I got to learn how to say these words and what they mean over here. Because all of the meanings that this mean here, it's like the alphabets. It ain't the same. You know, the vowels ain't the same. It ain't the same. So, thing is, having an agenda versus a purpose, I think that's a big step.
When I was growing up, we had two types of tennis shoes. We had PF Flyers and US Kids. Only two. The only two types we had. Okay? And so everybody wore either or, PF Flyers or US Kids. Then somebody came up with, hey, I figured out something. We're going to come up with Chuck Taylor All-Stars. Converse. Okay? And they're $17 and some cents. We paying $4 or $5 for the PS Kids and PF Flyers and US Kids. Now we got to come up with $17. Well, I couldn't go to my folk and ask for $17 for a pair of tennis shoes. It never occurred to me to go to a ask. The answer was given. So I earned it. I went out and I earned them $17. You know, I go hang out in the barbershop and whisking folks off and call myself shining shoes, and I'm making money. Because at a young age, we knew not to ask. You know, the money wasn't there. So what we going to ask for something that's not there? So yet they taught us the value, you know, of you got to earn it. There's no exaggeration, brother. I've been working 5, 6 years old. No, you know, I'm out there. We used to pray for snow in the wintertime, growing up in Philly. We used to pray for snow. So we go out there and make a quarter, 50 cents shoveling people's stuff. We didn't have yards, so we didn't have to worry about leaves and raking leaves. We didn't have cars, didn't have to worry about working, cars. But we learned how to work. We used to get up in the morning and literally walk, no exaggeration, from here to downtown to catch a farm labor transport by 6 o'clock in the morning to go to New Jersey to get on them farms and pick them blueberries. And so we learn to appreciate money. We appreciate that which we have. And the biggest mistake we make with parenting, I don't want my children to have to do the things that I did. And my question is, why not? Look at you. Look at you. And folks come to me at a therapist, they come to me and say, do you do child counseling? No, I don't. Child don't need any counseling. You need the counseling.
Y'all come in here.
Okay.
Yeah, leave the child at
You
home.
need the counseling. All right.
Right. No, you think about it. It makes better sense.
And so we identify the child as the identified patient. No, the child don't have the problem. The child's problem is the adults in its life. You're spoiling them. When they, you got to buy this. When I came from California, my daughter was 4 years old. I brought her here with me. Her grandmother, my mother. Oh, I'm gonna go out and get her some Jordache and some whatever else they had going on back there. I said, Mother, I tell you what you're gonna do. You go get them, and when you bring them home, I'm gonna tear them up, and then you can give them to her. Well, why would you do? Because when she tears them up, you're gonna have an attitude. Mm-hmm. You gave them $18, $19 tennis pants to a 4-year-old child. And she comes in, back then it wasn't popular to have no holes in the knees or whatever. Okay. So again, we have to give our dollars some sense. We have to recognize that we are responsible for everybody coming behind us.
Right.
And so once we get it together, I'm reminded of this man sitting down and getting ready to watch his football game. And he's all set to watch the football game. And he remembered that his son just kept getting up on the foot, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And he remembered there's a picture of a world in the newspaper. So he grabbed that picture of the world, he tore that picture up in the decent sized pieces, put them on the floor, gave his son some tape. Here, son, put this world back together. And so he sat down there watching this game, and all of a sudden, here you are, Daddy. And it didn't take him any time. He didn't do a perfect job, yet for his age, he did a perfect job. And so Dad said, well, how was it you was able to put this world back together so fast, son? He said, oh, Daddy, it was easy. On the back was a picture of a man. And once I put the man together, I was able to put his world together.
Oh, I think we need to do that. Check again. I already told my grandkids I bought some crayons recently, and this see the projects like I give them projects. If they want them allowances you was talking about, here's your task. Like I said last week, I made a crossroad, but I said I got 11 grandkids. I keep 11 bracelets on for my 6 bracelets on for my granddaughters, 5 on for my grandson. And my first name is 5 letters. My last name is 6 letters. I said, I want you to take my name, write it vertical. And out of all 11 of y'all, I want you to write each one of y'all name with my name, like a crossroad. You know what I mean? And they had to do it. I said, now, if you get it right, it's $50. You get it wrong. And so, needless to say, they didn't get it right.
So you kept the $50?
Kept the $50. But they tried their best. But when I finally had to give them the answer to that riddle there, I said, I called my grandson, the youngest one. He met him yesterday. They've been over there. The youngest one, they call him Little Goose because he looks so much like me, act like me, all this stuff. And I said, you could have just did that with the first letter. I said, you could have used the other one with the R. But either way it goes, you guys did it. They're good. 10. It got you with all 3 or 4 y'all on the back of the truck with pencil and paper, really trying to figure this stuff out. So now you got to do some figuring, and that's why I'm always, like I told him, I said, I don't pay you guys. I give you guys allowance for this and that, because I'm your granddad, blah, blah. You know what I told him? I said, don't talk to me about money right now. I said, get in this car. We just going to spend some granddaddy time, some community time today. Don't talk to me about nothing. No, what is the allowance of that? Don't do that. Right now, we're just speaking on other things with your mind. I want to know how your mind is growing. I make them write reports for. The last report they wrote for me was how to be a better leader. I don't know. Everybody got to tell me how to be a better leader. I want to know inside your little young 14-year-old, 11, and such an out. I have a lot of grandkids. Even the one that you guys watch, you get him. And I have to tell my daughter because she would not let that little boy fall to, oh no. I said, you got to let him develop me. He can't develop that's what you said about the privilege and giving them and replacing it. They can't learn to develop how to overcome this drop. You got to let them kind of develop some of this a little bit, man, because you didn't get hurt. Like you said, you didn't get hurt when I had to let you develop. You had to come up with ways to figure it out. If I'm always there paying for your bill, doing your life or whatever it is for you, you ain't gonna never know how to do it by yourself. And that's the Igbo way there. Like with kids, sound like it's tough love or hard love. Oh yeah, no. You show them or train them right now. If they get it wrong, you kind of back them up a little bit, but don't go too overboard. You go way too overboard. They gotta look at something. Develop defense mechanisms and stuff like that.
And one of the common things is working adult children, having to come back home. Why? My first apartment was 1 bedroom.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, 1 bedroom. Okay.
I think I had a studio. I didn't have
Okay.
a one bedroom.
That's what I mean. The studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, studio.
I think the bathroom barely had
Okay.
its own doors.
That's the only one. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we set the children up. So coming back around to where we began, talk about long-term health care. And that's important. That's important. Hey, at 74, you know, I got only 2 fears in my life right now. Only 2. One of them's nursing home, and the other one's penitentiary. That's why I get up every morning. I'm out there patting leather. Okay, I'm out there patting leather.
I've been the last 2 mornings myself.
You know,
I called him the other morning. He was out walking.
So because some things are preventable. Penitentiary is definitely preventable, unless folks don't make me kill them.
Right. In most cases, it is. And the kind of cocktail I mean, someone was talking about this yesterday. Mike, was you? I can't remember. Could be somebody else. We were talking about somebody was talking to us really about it. I mean, and it was saying about how things can change. Oh, it was Derek.
Derek talking about the young guy that hit hit a lady.
He's cleared up, good guy, straight person, good person. All this made a mistake. He hit. Was it a white person? Killed some old lady, 80 years old. Like
hit and run.
I don't even think it was a hit and run. It was just an accident.
She wound up passing.
What you mean an accident?
Car accident.
He hit her in the car. Oh, he stopped.
Yeah, two car accident. Yeah, he stopped and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and hit the old lady.
Okay.
And she was alive, and then a few days later she passed. So it went from a car accident to
homicide.
Vehicular homicide.
So I had a partner like that.
Mm-hmm.
Killed our best friend.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But Eddie didn't mean to kill that dude. They gave him 16 years in. With 2 years, the first sentence, so he didn't have to do them 16 years. No, he in trouble.
But it still wasn't penitentiary.
Yeah, but I'm like, wow. So that's why I said things can in a day remote. But it's fears you were talking about, because I have, me personally, I think that's another thing. That's a good thing he brought up just now. Probably put that on about fear, because you did say something about it. But fears, as a black person, a black man in this country, in this period, my fear is this narrative that, like he said, we're allowing as people for them to keep on changing and moving the ball or moving the thing here, saying here's the goal line here. We're gonna move it over here now. We're gonna move it over here. My fear is we're not gonna ever, as a team, as a collective, wake up and see that that's what's going on. You know what I mean? They're keeping the carrot right here, and you're the jackass. And you're gonna keep on chasing that carrot. They gonna never get it. As long as they got it right, they might give it to you after a while, but you're gonna have to keep on going. Then they do the carrot.
When they do give it to you, you're not gonna have any teeth to eat it.
Thanks. They might not even be harmful.
Okay. Speaking of moving the carrots and what have you, I was in San Diego. I was out there in San Diego when Hank Aaron was coming up on Babe Ruth's record. And the folks out there, San Diego Padres, at their stadium, they extended the outfield to make it harder for him to hit a home run. Okay. Same thing with Tiger Woods over here at the Augusta National. First time he won the Masters, second year they did what? They tiger-proofed it. And he still won. So our problem is we're continuing to expect the progeny of them folks that enslaved us to do right by us. And the real truth is, white folks have only one fear, and that's the black man. Because we hold the key to their genetic annihilation. White folks can only reproduce themselves with themselves. We can reproduce ourselves with everybody. Everybody. Okay? And we go to the mall, we go to Walmart, and all we have to do, I know who she lay with. I know who your dad is.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's a
know.
lot more.
Okay.
It's a lot. He's right. It's a lot more. I mean, from my ancestry and my family, my cousins and all that. From we talk about
Mm-hmm.
East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
Alaska, and all these people down in Seattle, Washington, and New Orleans, Los Angeles, all this. And I'm like, I saw it, even though they gave us different names, color,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Negro, mulatto. Most of my people would call, and it's on their record, mulatto. Because my cousin, he did so really intense from the 1700s Census Bureau
Mm-hmm.
stuff. This before all this other marriage certificate, all the money
Mm-hmm.
cousin that found out that every 2 to 5 years they had different names. So he wanted to make sure the 100-year-old that's still alive
Mm-hmm.
last week wanted to make sure because he was listed as a white person, and some certain this year and this
Mm-hmm.
2 to 5 years later he was listed as mulatto.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give him colored
Mm-hmm.
Negro because he was light skinned and
Mm-hmm.
had that kind of hair.
At the hair.
No, my mom's Caucasian person,
Mm-hmm.
and she did. And I had to talk to them yesterday. You went around. You had left then. I had to tell my nephew and the kids. Her mom's white.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna talk about all that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the kids. I don't want them to get all
Sure. Exactly.
about this little girl being biracial because her hair is different from.
Mm-hmm.
She's still my granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
She still came from me.
Mm-hmm.
She's a black person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to so much cushion her with it because me and her had this conversation way back. She's 14 now.
Mm-hmm.
Way back, me and her had this conversation about, look, you're a black person.
Mm-hmm.
You're Nigerian too. And your granddad going to teach you about your ancestry on this black side. When you live with your mom, there's nothing against your mother. No kind of abusive thing. Is that I have this as a dynamic to teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I got one granddaughter she's the only one that's left-handed. And you're the only one that's like this. So I don't want you to think you're different, and I don't want y'all to treat me. She's still your sister. She's still your cousin. She's still my granddaughter. It's my grandchild.
Old time thing, huh?
Yeah.
That left hand thing.
Yeah.
My dad used to tell me, he was telling me stories about how like his aunts and my great aunts, they used to like hit him with a ruler whenever he would use his left hand. They used to try to force him to be right handed.
I wonder what that was about.
That did it.
Being different. I remember that happening. Because my brother was left-handed.
The thing is, they try to, in the town,
Conformity.
teach you, and if they're teaching you with the right hand, write it like this or do it like this, and you go like this, no, you gotta use this hand, no. But see, when I get them that assignment, I said, I could tell, thinking-wise, this left-handed little girl, in my opinion, I'm just saying, I ain't taking her side, but out of all the grandkids that did that assignment, hers was so super different, and I knew why. Because you're left-handed, and you think with a different strategy approach. I'm just out of 11, it's on, it's 11. This I had to keep up with. It's a lot of y'all. There was Simone. She's the only one. I got something here for her too. She's the only one that is way different from this and that. Even with the conversation with Grandpa, it's different. And I have to kind of keep remembering it because her mom's left-handed. And my daughter-in-law, you met my daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law is left-handed, so that's why my grandkids, they're right-handed, but it's different. She thinks it a little different from how I think, because I'd be like, but Bree, why did you? Never mind. Okay. All right, I feel.
You got it.
Follow your vision, man, because I don't know why you did what we doing.
He said he remembered that they used to smack him on the hand with rulers and on his knuckles with rulers and stuff. But I get back. He said to them that was devilish. Like you was the devil if you wrote with your left hand and stuff like that. If you were left-handed, but he was like eating, like anything, washing. Like they used to steady try to force him to use his right hand.
Yeah, let's get to it more quick.
Well, okay, I got one. Since we was talking about the map really hit with me. The man, it was a picture of the man on the back.
Okay.
So I put the man together and the world was together. So with that being said, what does it actually look like when a black man starts to heal?
Dangerous. Dangerous.
If you were a threat before, you surely are the weapon of mass destruction now.
COINTELPRO.
You were a threat when they thought you were uneducated.
Okay.
Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like when they thought you didn't know nothing and they thought you couldn't, you were a threat then. So
No,
imagine
you posed no threat there.
Right.
When you didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
When they thought you didn't know anything.
I think, like you said, with that, he said dangerous. You become a severe, and because he went right, I'm gonna go with him. Threat. You become a threat to a lot of, like I said, even these systems, even the credit system from FICA score and all these people. I've been, and I ain't really trying to hold to a comparison, but I'm looking at Africa and Nigeria culture and setup, and I'm looking at this one here. And I'm looking at, like he was saying, this is only the benefit of a certain group of people, really, because this laws are not built. But then I see how they are able to have, because back in 1960, the Queen of Elizabeth, October the 1st, I saw the video, she flew there and allegedly gave Nigeria, it's called Niger. It was never called Nigeria. Niger was a company. It was even a young fella. I'm gonna let y'all meet him. He's in London now. He'll be in New York next week. But he's Chisholm. He's only like 30-something years old. He was born and raised in Nigeria. Then I got another young fella. He's born here in America from North Augusta, but he's Nigerian too. He's been back several times. And his mom born and raised there. But they're about the same age. They got two different dynamics of because he'll say his American mind, the one in Florida. And this guy here, he didn't leave Nigeria until 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He got degrees in England, and degrees over
Mm-hmm.
here, degrees in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Both, because they proud that in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
You got to become a doctor
Mm-hmm.
or a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They're singing thing, Burna Boy, these people dancing. Oh, cut that mess out. That's how they're strict about it. That's why if you ever come next week, you will see. I mean, you may not be able to understand the language I was explaining to you. Someone was explaining to you. They would talk to you in English. But I'm saying you would see what your eyes just sitting there analyzing. Man, you're going to be like this here. Wow. This community, this culture, they behave like this and they do like this. Everybody's fanning everybody. So everybody's cool. Nobody's sweating. How they got on these hot, thick clothes and fly and they're not sweat? Because I'm fanning her. And then in turn, she's fanning him and he's fanning. So it feels like an air conditioner in there. Yeah, hot as hell. If you go by standing by yourself, nobody fanning you or you ain't fanning. Oh, man, I'm hot. But you go around with everybody else and everybody is fanning. Oh, man, it's cool. I ain't even sweat. And so we talking about the community efforts. Just period. That's with fanning. We ain't even talking. I ain't even got into finances and insurance and health benefits, all this crap. I ain't went to that yet. But the community structure, and I hold them like this, is different. This one right here, I see so many, pardon my spirit, I can bump this dude, say words, and they say this and I'm like, this is so harsh with each other, and you're a black person like this person, and you want to see him there, you punch him, you fight him, brutality. Some people like UFC and MMA. I mean, watching sports is cool, but sometimes when you're seeing this, to me, it puts a damper. I don't like seeing each other fighting around with the movies. I used to like boxing. Lord Jones, a lot of them Muhammadans. But seeing this dude beat this dude up, I like to see what you guys are doing something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even as a sports or not, this is what I see over here. So I'm like, and when the young fellow was telling me about how Niger was, and he's the lady who was actually born in 1960, Ibele Chu, right? She's the one that got me in school and all the whole thing. She's and then her son is the one I was talking about, the third that was born here in North America. And then you both of you guys, I think, seen what happened at the library. That little young fella, me, he's here born here.
Have you spoken to him since?
Yeah, I talked to him, man. I even invited him to the thing next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you saw what happened when they see me like this, and like the ceremony they're gonna have next week. Oh my God! The council, what day you coming, brother? What day you coming in 1A? 1A mean, brother. What day are you coming? I'm trying to make it for both days, man. But for sure, on the first day, because we're gonna do this and this. and they're gonna go right to the slave post. Right, they do it right there. That slave post where they have it at 1803, Igbo landing. This is where they're gonna do the ceremony. This is where they want to be the name and test your blood. I really think this man is the Igbo person. I kind of think he's the Igbo person too. Igbo is a tribe. You know, it's not the whole Africa. It's not the whole village of the tribe. It's a tribe. The whole tribe is Igbo. Village and is a community, like a small network community, like mother, father, grandfather, stuff like that. And then it may be bigger than that, but it's still a community. So you got elders like chiefs. You got big chiefs. And then you got people that, like next week, the king is going to be there. Eze.
This week, this coming week?
Yeah, come
This week, okay.
He's coming from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Eze, that's how you say king in
Mm-hmm.
Eze, it's Eze.
Eze.
Yeah, Eze Chukwu is his name. So he coming next week, and he's going to do a lot of different things, and a lot of ceremony, a lot of different dances. August is the beginning of festival in Nigeria for yams. So we're talking about August to September. There's gonna be a big old all the way festivals all the time for yams.
All right.
They're gonna be
Well, keep me informed of the next ones.
okay, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
because I definitely want to get involved. That's,
Yeah, man. Oh my
you know, one of the big, you know, I was thinking this yesterday. There's no other race of people in this country that was born here in this country, as far as our generation, that's been through what we've been through. And this is why everything's so different. This is why when listening to you got the Nigerian born and raised, and you got the American born and raised, different sets of values. You know, it's in this country, it's in our DNA. You know, the expectation, it's what we're taught in the school system. My 10th grade, we went 10th, 11th, and 12th was high school. 7th, 8th, and 9th was junior high. Y'all call it middle school now. And so 10th grade, the first year in high school, I have an academic curriculum, college bound. I'm told, Jerry, you're not college material. Your score is not going to get you in college. So you need to change your curriculum to general education. And you might, when you graduate, go to a trade school to learn to become a plumber's helper. Not even a plumber. Plumber's helper. This is, and I didn't know any better. I changed my curriculum. General education degree. Didn't go to school to become a plumber's helper though. Instead, I went in the Navy. And in the Navy, we had to take, once you made E3, every promotion above that, you need to pass 2 tests to get that next stripe. And you got to pass them tests high enough. Well, let's say every dental technician takes the exact same test the exact same day. And they only got, let's say, 200 slots. For every E4 dental technician in the Navy, they only got 200 slots. Let's just say 200. You got to score high enough that you got to be at least number 200.
Right.
201, you can pass but not get promoted. And so every time I was eligible for a promotion, I got it. I passed high enough to get it. And so when I got out, then I said, well, okay, my uncle said if I go to school, he going to pay my way, Uncle Sam. So I went to school, and I said, I can do this. The heck with that teacher, that counselor. I can do this. And when I got my master's degree, I went back to Philadelphia to show her, and the heifer had died on me.
Oh, man.
Ticked me off. You know, and having been a real estate investor, I'm not a plumber, but I do some serious plumbing. Okay. Without a helper. You know? So I say all that to say, we the people. That's their greatest fear. During the 60s, J. Edgar Hoover and them folks came up with COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program. J. Edgar Hoover says he's going to do everything in his power to prevent the rise of a black Messiah. Because he already knew how powerful we are. Now, if we had a powerful leader, we some awesome people.
I think we got one. That little Ibrahim dude over there.
Who's that?
And Burkina Faso.
Oh, Ibrahim Faso. Ibrahim definitely. Definitely.
I love him.
Definitely. Ibrahim Traore.
He's my idol.
What he's 38 now?
So what you said what looked like healing? That man right there is what looked like healing to me. That's what the first thing come to my mind. When he said what it looked like as a black man. Mm-hmm. This guy, everything that he is speaking, and you get a chance, you can look him up, man.
Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim
Traore.
Yeah. He's
the youngest youngest king in the world.
They're trying to kill him. He put France out the country. Then so, in other words, instead of me going over here and making you grow all this to put it inside of ship it over here for we to put it back in the can to sell it back to you African people. No.
That's it.
Yeah, that is him.
Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah.
No, man. No, he stopped all of that. And then the resources, and he's trying to get everybody in the whole continent, black African ones, to realize you got instead of like you said about the wheel, you got it already. They want to come get your stuff, ship it over here to their country, even China. That's why they try to be all friends with all the African people. We want all y'all resources to send it back to China to fix this phone and do this and then resell it to you, this canned goods or whatever. And you're going to, like you said, okay. Oh, man, this dude, no.
Got the first and only gold refinery in the continent.
See what I'm talking
about? Okay. He said we're raiding all these tomatoes.
We're going to see what we talking about.
We're raiding all these tomatoes to send to you, and then you're going to turn them into puree and put them in cans and send them back to us and charge us this much. Yeah. He said, no, we're going to keep our own tomatoes. Mm-hmm. And we're going to make our own tomato factories. Okay. So, you know, hey, man, that's my hero.
That's my
hero, brother.
So he got to be yours, too.
I'm going to look
right.
into
So,
him.
but, man, this is, for me, when Aaron, my cousin Aaron, you remember Aaron? Mm-hmm. When Aaron put me on to that, bro, when I saw what this guy was doing, and I'm like, cause see, Aaron be all over the place sometimes. Sometimes he be this and sometimes he be that. But like you said, blaming the white man. I said, bro, I can't blame the white man. I can only blame myself for my choice. I know nowadays, when I was a young person, and didn't have the age to get a license or age to participate with stuff, now I couldn't say much. Now that I'm of age and then I'm of my sound mind, a little bit, not all of them, I'm able to see that this is a choice. And then learning the different cultures, like I said, I'm learning all about this Nigerian, this Igbo culture. This is like beyond. And then from what I'm understanding, this is what they've been telling me. This is really connected all the way back. Igbo people connected back to the tribe. Like the
back to the beginning.
Say they're Israelite or Jew or this kind of word or Hebrew. Okay. Beginning. Because they got masters over there that is older than
any of them from. Any of their.
Right. The historical stuff that I'm learning, even the symbols, the letters, the NDC, NDC, all of those letters that you see, the symbolism that people didn't know and what they mean. Even they was talking about different stuff markings at a church. Those letters, if you go to the real heart of ancient Nigeria, you see it. I haven't had a chance to go to, but you've been over there, a little bit over there. But even some of the signs that you see here. You know what I mean? I know, here we go again. I'm on the microphone point that nobody can fool me. But still, this stuff that you see, look on the bottom of, you can see them on the bottom of that right there, that's one here. Look on the bottom. See the symbols on the bottom? You may see an ankh down there, I believe. But you may see other symbols. They have some of those same symbols in Nigeria, and they have a different meaning. We're talking about going way back to the origin. As he said, taking it back. All the way back from before this happened, before all of this. Because now it just got more complex and complicated, you ask me. Everything's so complex. And again, who came up with FICO score and credit score? What is this stuff for?
They're all designed to keep us out, control us.
Over there in this country, that's what my question be. And if they do got that, what? How do you
against us? That's part of the redlining.
Keeping us holding us back. Yeah.
You gotta have this kind of
Your score not high enough.
Hey, how do I get it higher? How do I put this in drive in fifth gear?
Now, I read and check it out, brother. That this white woman, she was a lover to this administrator over there in that country, and she came up with the name of the country, Niggerland, ergo Nigeria, Niger, Niggerland.
Yeah.
Do you brothers know that I have the Nile River in this room right now?
I know.
These.
He might not know, but
Okay. Right. The Nile River is in this room right now.
You told me you had some sand. You got some sand.
I got the river.
Oh, the in the jar. You said you had the Mexican. Yeah, you told me.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
Not in quantity, in quality.
Yeah.
Okay. And all them other jars, that's Egypt and Luxor and all the temples over there.
I don't know. I wish you could. And stuff that you were showing me, I wish you could put that like in a flick edit
PowerPoint.
and put it on YouTube so everybody can see where this man has been.
Mhm.
I'm serious, bro. This man, he's seen some stuff. When he first got back, I was like, jaw dropped. Every screen, everything he was showing. I'm like, I'm looking at different places he went where light is only allowed right here. And it has certain, and we talking about these pyramids and temples, all of this stuff, man. He was showing, it's a lot of stuff he was showing me, man, that was just blew my mind. Half my jaw just dropped down. The pyramids are serious. And that's what this right here. Remember I was telling you about that? I didn't tell you the whole story, but that's his thing if you want to take. But I'm saying from the board, this board here, all the way out, I'm watching him. I'm learning. Like what I told him, he already knows it. I'll say it again if he need to hit it, but I don't think he does. This is my inspiration. He be saying, "Oh, I'm like, bro, I'm looking at you. This is why you see this difference." You know what I mean? Because before, he used to see me. I used to like I want to watch the windshield of his car. Hey man, can I watch? Or something. I'm just joking, but in real talk, that's my inspiration. I've been watching everything, man. So I'm like, eventually, I got things going on now because I get invites all the time. Eventually, I'm gonna get a chance to get back home. I say home because that's really is our home. I don't care. I say, yeah, you're not going there. Yeah, okay, whatever you say. We came this week.
Yeah, I want to go. Me and my wife talked about trying to, we're not trying. We're going to start some businesses here to generate money without us having to and move over there and use it or take it over there. Let's say 100,000 over there is $1 million. So, I mean,
I have a partner.
$80 is a quarter of $1 million.
Him and his wife. They came out of Burke County. They're retired school teachers, educators. They're over there in Ghana now. And a 2-bedroom apartment. Any idea how much it'll cost? A little bit more. $800. In Ghana, $800 a year.
Yeah.
A year.
He hits you with the
A year.
I just feel like I should be able to go over there and be like, look, I got 10 years up front and figure it out. Like, you're supposed to be able to get your tax money and go to Ghana and say, I'm going to put this up. Here's the rent for, here's a year or here's 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And figure it out. Like,
Yeah, but then with
Man.
other countries, you gotta just be wary that you got schemers, you got scammers.
But I mean, you got that here. You deal with
Say
that.
that again.
you,
Say that again.
you deal with that here.
Say that again.
Right. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just,
Well, I say
you gotta be hip to what they're doing.
because like I
Yeah.
just said, $780. That's $250,000 over in Nigeria.
But I'm saying that with today, yeah.
If you go over there with about $2,000, you go million there. Literally, that's why they in New London, in Abia State, Abia Village, that's why they got those palaces and castles and all that.
So what we're gonna do when we get there? So let's bring it back here now. What is it we're gonna do? What's our takeaway for today?
If we talking about we go to
Right. This
I
group
thought we
here.
was talking about Africa still.
No. Let's come on back home. What's to this home? What's our takeaway for this meeting today?
Okay, that's my okay. So yeah, so when we ended the one yeah, that was the question. My takeaway. What do we have? What were we?
Yeah.
What I've taken away from it is
No, you got to do like you did last week. Cause what start?
oh, okay. He wants to
Before you and then your app.
says one word. How do you feel right now compared to when we started?
United.
And see, that's what I was kind of going with it too.
I feel more encouraged, and the information has grown. My purpose is continuing to grow with the
New information. Yeah.
information that I'm receiving, the growth. Because beforehand, when the phone was talking, we're not really sure where everybody is on page wise. Me and him always been kind of click. That's probably why when I brought this guy up, we already there together. You know what I mean? We've been there together for some years now, probably half a decade, at least better.
Been a minute.
So, I've always felt anytime we're around him and I've been talking to him, we get in a deep conversation. It's always enlightening. That's the word I was looking. Enlightening, enlightening.
You got ready to go to Africa?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we say it in passing, we say it in conversation, but like I can honestly say I ain't did nothing to buckle down and try to, make that process and make that move closer. And I want to go.
Yeah.
I do. I want to go.
And even if I wouldn't say that this is the next best thing, but even if we're not able to get that, like the thing next week.
Next week.
When we can't really say we make Africa here, we can, but the thing next week, you want to get
it's gonna be one of the closest
closer
you're gonna get here
today. Today.
Yeah.
And you'll see how everybody. That's why when they told me to bring up. The council called me on three-way. They said bring everybody and tell them don't bring no money, no food. It's the hotel we're staying in, Odogu. I said okay. Sometimes they call me Drew. Sometimes they call me Odogu. I said Odogu, just come here, man. And we got plenty of food. We don't need to worry about drinks, food. I already know because I've been to these before. And I know they're not like, bro. They have coolers. But
Sure.
You think a barbecue or picnic in this place and black people down these a backyard? But no. This thing is serious. We talking about community. We talking about these 7 states. The two council members who are talking, James, and someone got American names, some don't. But James and Iku, he's from Abia State. He's from Anambra. These people from Imo, these people from Ibonyi. All of these are coming together under that one tribal. They're not even from the same city or town. It's like we got a United States. This is like a United States of Igbo. They're coming from all these places to sit and enhance each other and one another. Or the same thing like we're doing here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, fellas, I got one last question. What would life look like if you had been given the chance to warm up?
Say that again.
What would life look like if you had been given the chance to warm up?
I would be in one of the African countries as a resident today.
Clean this, swipe my out.
Right.
That's true though.
It is.
That's basically what I'm saying.
And
I wouldn't be here.
That trying to fit in, trying to beat their system, trying to, you wouldn't, you're right.
Yeah. Instead of having to come up with like this, we talking about in this community.
Like
Coming
you
up with
said, we
something.
went where we were welcomed.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to fit in where we wasn't.
Reinforce the culture here in we're already there where there's no wheel that need to be fixed. We ain't got to reinvent this wheel. We're just over there with the wheel, you know?
I was reading yesterday that Ghana says, come on home. You're a citizen. Once you step in on the top,
a citizen.
come on home.
My cousin go there, yeah. He do some boxing training.
You know, so, you know, that if I...
It's like that with Nigeria, too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say Igbo. I can't speak for Yoruba or Hausa people or Ijaw people, but Igbo, it's like next week. They'll do a blood test if you want to participate. Sure. But if not, they still will give you your Nigeria and welcome you to the Igbo fold. No problem. You know? It's Drews, or Doku, bring. You know,
we're communal people. Always been communal people. It's never been isolated. That's what brought me down here to Georgia. You know, growing up in Philadelphia, we were with nuclear family. Mother, father, brother, sister, aunt over here, uncle over there. But then when my father died, we came down here. I met my Uncle George, who gave me this ring in '72, and I said, I'm coming home. And so I've always been looking for home. And I've always known, not always, as an adult, I've always known America is not home for me. I'm a resident of this country.
Right.
I'm not a citizen. Right. This is not home.
No.
Because as Malcolm said, if I was a citizen, then I have all the rights and privileges of citizenship.
Man, okay.
You know?
We can make a lot of sound bites over here.
Well,
the best, bro.
Man.
Man, this is not, I'm not supposed to be really, and I think about what happened if Isabella didn't make it in. I came from this woman's womb. My dad did it. What if it happened to Isabella stayed there and I was over there dressed like this? Because when I'm dressed like this around them, this is a very basic, this is not dress, but I'm saying when I dress, everybody in the back be like, oh, it's a style of sharp mess. Over there, that's like this.
Basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, to them,
that's right. That's
because some of the elaborate things and the stuff I see when I am in person with my physical eyes. Now I just talking on video. I'm like this here, the dances and like when they be putting all that money that's on the floor for those girls. Everybody think it's for the girls. It's the community give. And then you got the chiefs on different high tables. You got these high chiefs here. You got these some chiefs. Well, a couple of them, they want my number so they can take me to another level with this here. And I'm like, okay, because we talking to Igbo. You know, it's a handshake and everything. And I'm like, okay. So the Odogus, they be saying, they tell me, Odogu? I said, you know, we need to get you over here because, you know, because of me being American and kind of having a different mind frame that I got from being American, like the young boy I told you. It's a different setup. Like he was born in America, he's more Americanized. And his mind had to concentrate on a lot of the things in the American culture, period. Because a lot of times the people talk about the word culture, and I look and I say, dude, is there really an American culture or American black culture? No. Because it keeps switching up like a chameleon, you know? Today is, like you said, back in 60, 70, 80, we was a different community versus now. And the capitalist type thing of, this my car. It's my car better than fly rim or whatever. Or this. No one is thinking about community at all. This person is hurting. She don't have what you got. Why not? I mean, they're human. They got a skin like you. They got a blood. They're breathing. You're hungry. We're thirsty. You know. Why you give him the leftovers? Because he's this boy. And why I got to be? I'm a human like you. And the only way that I know that, like you said, when you said taken away, the only way I know I feel a little more and relax from back at home. Man, these people not looking at me because I'm brown or dark or black or white.
Right.
They don't care. They look at it's just even Puerto Rico. They don't say black Puerto Rican. They don't, how you say Afro American, Caucasian, and all that. They don't say that. The Puerto Rican people all say they don't say it. They think you Puerto Rican. You know, or in Nigeria, the same way they got bright skin, they got colorization going on, but no one look at that at all. It's like, and that's why I'm teaching my grandkids because it's like, goes my dynamic with my Stop, don't look at her because her hair is curly this way and then she's bright. Y'all, she's mom is that. She's a human being. Them kids yesterday went out and then they young. When I got up to the house after he left, and we got to talk, carrying on, I started seeing they've been trained in a sense to look at Africa and not just Africa, Nigeria stuff as, oh, that's not the end thing. It's not fly. Oh, they look. Why is she dressing like this? Why is she dancing like this? Was she bald head or she short hair? I get all this, and I'm looking at these kids like, I really want to just what at them. Did you say ever take this phone? Do not. So I'm going through a lot of things with them, and then my mother sit down and have a similar conversation with those girls. You know, I just had my granddaughters yet. Yes, too. I can't. Swear. Thank you, and your mom and dad. Man, they help me with other grand. I have a lot of grandkids, man.
11 of them.
Yeah.
11 different personalities.
Thank you. And that's hard for this one guy. And please don't ever make this a conversation because it's hard for this one guy. All these 11 personalities. Because you're like this. So I try to give each one of them one-on-one with Grandpa as best I can. Take the girls yesterday, and when I leave here now, God bless him, when I find out what's my son doing, talk with his kids and my grandkids. I'm looking forward. I wouldn't even care if we went to the park. We got barbecue in my backyard. I wouldn't care. I'm big, you know. He haven't been to one of my. He been at my house. I would have epic cookouts. We had the direct traffic. Like it's like a club. Like the yard would be all these cars here like this in the front, sat like a club, like a party. And the backyard cars is parked. The people is on the side of the road down the streets. We had a direct traffic. Stop these people so these people can back out of the yard. I used to have that type of community, and it don't take but me to say it. Like these people in the family union, and now Rouzan, and say one thing, and I like right now, and it'd be about at least a couple of hundred people back the other way. I can say right now, hey, Drew said, come over here right now. And the whole crew is there, and you'd be like, you know, this many people. No, I don't even know them. They just brought these people. But we having a great time. Y'all met my cousin because when y'all, that's kind of all of them come. That's my matter of fact. They're having another one tomorrow. If y'all available tomorrow, my cousin is having a cookout.
Which cousin?
It's the same one.
The one that retired?
Yeah, no, not an Evans.
Okay.
The one at Evans that y'all came to out there. Her brother. I think he about to be a granddad.
Okay.
But he's invited us over yet tomorrow.
Where?
In North Augusta.
Okay.
For I think it's a baby reveal dinner. Say, in my mind, I'm like, Tony, you about to be a granddad?
What time? Before we do it, can we go and wind up here?
Oh yeah.
We done got into other yeah.
Oh man, we can. I just want to say, man, appreciate y'all fellas, and thank you for your time. Thank you for the knowledge and the wisdom. Yeah, definitely. This conversation has definitely changed how I'm looking at things. You know, it's about time to stop trying to be where we're not wanted, and get to where we supposed to be at.
And Jerry, I want to just commend you for this idea. This is your baby. You birthed this, and I was sitting here thinking, that this is the first time since I left California back in the 80s that I was able to sit down with brothers and be comfortable enough to open up. You know, not talking superficial talk, you know, just to be being me. And I thank you for it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, brother.
No problem.
I'm saying, because, man, you really, I love it. Especially the young ones. We got hope.
I ain't gonna lie, the small group, the big group had me nervous, but I feel like the small, three to four people, man, it's this.
What's this? This is a lighter, right?
This, yeah, you already know, because if you had seen, man, after the first one, man, I got so much good praise about the first one. So many people asking, could they be apart? When was the next one coming out? They loved the first one. They're gonna love this one. Yeah. And again, it's not all just the same. It's life. It's not just a single aspect of the things we go through. It's everything. Like this was the exact episode we needed. It opened it up. It's not just about relationships. People were thinking we was doing like a dating show where it was just, we were only going to be talking about relationships and the things men do. And I was like, nah, this is this life. Like this, anything, everything. And this episode here it definitely showed that. Again, thank y'all, man. Y'all tune in. See y'all next time. Again, it's running cold.
It's got. I like that.